Thank you all for being here at our wonderful Las Vegas SuperMeet. We are about to begin now, and what special way to begin than to present one of our charter sponsors for the SuperMeet from Blackmagic Design. We are very happy to bring you tonight Paul Saccone, Director of Marketing for Blackmagic Design.
Hello, hello, hello.
Thank you.
Thank you. It is great to be back here at the SuperMeet. I am so excited to show you DaVinci Resolve 14. So has anybody seen it yet? Just a couple. Okay, if we can get it up on the screens, I can get going right away. Oh, that's a nice picture. Yeah, okay. So two rules for my presentations. You must laugh at my bad jokes. And thank you. And if you see something you like, hoot, holler, clap, scream, do something. All right? So here we go. DaVinci Resolve 14 is the biggest update in the history of the software. I know, it's big news, but don't slow me down. I got 20 minutes here. So we've got hundreds of new features for editors and colorists, but most importantly, we've made it up to 10 times faster than it was before. We've added professional digital audio and incredible collaboration tools that are going to let multiple editors, colorists, sound engineers, and their assistants all work on the same project at the same time. So I'm going to jump right in and get started here. So first up is performance. We have an entirely new playback engine in DaVinci Resolve 14. So lots of CPU, GPU optimizations. Things as simple as scrubbing are entirely fluid now. When I use JKL keys, playback starts instantaneously. In fact, playback is so fast that it starts before you even finish lifting your finger off the key. I'm serious. That wasn't a joke. This is great when you're doing like trimming and you're doing looping trim modes and live trims, because the frame you see when you tap that key is the frame you're going to get. There's no latency here. It is super fast. Let me go to another timeline. This is H.264. And H.264 is really processor intensive, and it's something that, frankly, we needed to improve, and now you're seeing 4 streams of H.264 playing back in real time on the Resolve timeline. So that's a massive performance improvement for us. So thank you. Thank you. So if you're using Resolve on a laptop or on an older computer, it's really, really going to be very fast now. Previously, the previous version, it wasn't so fast. And if you're on a current computer, it's like a rocket ship. The thing just flies. So let's go back to my timeline here. I'm going to show you some of the editing and color features along the way, in addition to the 3 big ones. So we're going to start here with a couple of small but really awesome features. For example, I can now view multiple bins at the same time. I can open bins into their own windows, which you couldn't do before. You could customize the views. And when you're done customizing and laying it all out, you can now save your screen layouts, and all your windows will come back where they were before. Yay, that's awesome. All right, so let me load up this clip in my viewer here. So I'm going to close my sidebar. So when I mouse over a clip, and I'm going to just zoom in a little bit here, you now get this little pop-up. And this pop-up is really awesome because it lets us edit audio only or video only to our timeline with a quick drag. One thing you might notice here is that I've got lots of colors in the timeline now. You can color the tracks, you can color code them, and as you drag and drop a clip, it automatically inherits the color on the track that you're dropping it. So that's pretty cool. Come on. All right. So I've also got markers. We've added new marker overlays so you can see your marker data, and I've got a couple of markers on this clip. If I go into list view here, I can actually open this up, and I can double-click to get to the markers. But more importantly, you can actually edit the markers into your timeline. So I can take that region of the clip, and I can edit that in right here where I want it, and we're done. So it's kind of like having subclips without having to make subclips. You can just use markers, which is really cool. So this is a piece called Living in the Age of Airplanes, which was a film by Brian Terwilliger that was created in Resolve, and it's just got some gorgeous, gorgeous aerial footage. Some of the other things that we've added here is a new undo list. So you now get a history of everything you've done, so you can undo it and see what you're doing, which is great. I know, it's all good. So I'm going really fast because there's a lot of stuff I got to cover. Resolve effects. So previously in our effects library, we had Resolve effects, but you could only access them on the color page. Well, now you can actually get to them and use them on the edit page. So for example, if I wanted to add a filter, I just drag it onto a clip. We're going to go to our inspector, and you can adjust its parameters. Here's a painterly effect called abstraction. We've got dead pixel fixer. We've got dehazers. We've got glows, light rays, all kinds of stuff in there. JPEG damage, debanders, so if you have a noisy clip with lots of banding from that H.264 camera, perhaps, you can deband it. OK, so that is a quick look at some of the editing features. I'm going to open up the new mixer, and boy, that's a big mixer. So we acquired a company called Fairlight about 6 months ago, and Fairlight is known around the world for extremely high-end audio. The sound quality and the speed of the system is second to none. So people like NFL Films, NHK, they're all using Fairlight. It's very, very high-end. So we acquired them, and we took all of that great digital audio workstation technology, and we built it into Resolve. So now Resolve is like getting 3 pro apps in one. You get professional editing, you get your color grading, and a complete digital audio workstation right in the application. And that, yes, that's OK. Thank you. So you see the new mixer down here. This is from Fairlight. If I go to a clip with audio, you see that we now have a parametric equalizer here on the edit page, so you can EQ all of your clips. But the real power comes when you switch to this new page at the bottom, which is the Fairlight page. So here is my audio timeline. Now notice the playhead is in the same position here as it was when I was on the edit page. So whenever you do anything in Resolve, if you want to switch from editing to audio or color grading, your playhead's always in the same position, so you know where you're going to be when you switch pages. Now, on this timeline, you can see time code, but we've actually got a subframe and samples here. So you can edit right down to the sample level. This is really great because let's say you get a clip that's half a frame out of sync. Well, now you're not limited to frame boundaries to do your editing. You can actually do subframe audio editing, and you can sync those things. It's great. All right, I'm going to turn my mixer on. Here is the mixer on the Fairlight page. You see I've got 16 tracks in this project. If I want to, you could have actually up to 1,000 tracks. So 1,000 tracks, and if you use the Fairlight Audio Accelerator, you get real-time EQ, real-time dynamics and compression, real-time VST plugin effects all on all 1,000 clips. Without the Audio Accelerator card, and on a current machine, you'll get probably 50 or 60 tracks in real time, which is still a lot. And if you're working with a ton of tracks, there's an index here so you can turn clips on and off at will, or tracks on and off at will, so you can see just the things that you want to work on. So a little bit about the mixer. I select a channel strip. It selects the corresponding track in the timeline. So if I go back to this track here, we'll just zoom into this clip. So I'm going to just make this a little bigger. And we're going to just start zooming in, and I can get all the way in. Let me just put the playhead over a wave. All the way into the sample level. So those are audio samples. So if you're at 48K, you're looking at 48,000 of these things every second. I can redraw the waveform just like that, just by dragging the mouse. And I'm sure that's not going to sound good. All right, so let's just zap that down again. So here's a little playback. You can see all the
in just a flicker of time,
the
life
meters on the
Earth
mixer are going.
changed forever.
So if I wanted to do EQ, I would just double-click my EQ, and here I have 6-band parametric EQ. So the one on the edit page is a clip equalizer, and the one on the audio page is a track-level equalizer. So that's a little bit about the EQ. You also get built-in dynamics, so there's an expander or gate, a compressor, and a limiter that you can use. We also work with VST plugins, of which there are, I forgot to install them, sorry. There should be a list of lovely plugins there that I would drag onto a clip and show you how they work. But they're awesome. Plugins are great. We also do full automation. So automation is, sort of the kind of the audio equivalent to keyframing. So there's different automation modes here, And you can enable automation on everything from just simple fader movements. You can record your fader movements. Or you can automate the EQ, the compressor, the gate. You can you can automate even all of your plugins. So just about everything in the app can be automated with the automation tools. All right, so let's look at some meters. We also have a full set of meters, and I'm just going to make this a little bigger here. You can pull this out. So when I play back, I get metering on all my tracks. And notice that the meters all take the same colors as the tracks, so it's very easy to tell what's going on.
We've become explorers once again.
Woo! The other thing you can do is you can pop this video out. So if you're not looking at your meters, you can look at your video. You can resize this, make it as big as you want, or I can just pop it back in there. So you can set up the screen to look however you'd like. Now, Fairlight gives us some really amazing busing control, and so you have the ability to create submixes. So if I wanted to go into a bus here, I could, into my bus format window, I can create a new submix. Currently, this project has a stereo output, but maybe I want to do multiple outputs, so I might need to do a 5.1 deliverable, or maybe I have to do an English, a French, and a German version of this. I could create submixes for each of those deliverables so that I don't have to have different projects. I can do it all in one project and then just export them with my video one after the other. So in this case, I'm going to create a 5.1 submix. We'll give it a name. I'll call it Film. And we'll give it a color. And we're going to make it violet, because I like that today. And then we go to assign the tracks to it. So I have 16 tracks in this project, and I have my new bus, and I just have to assign different tracks to play through this bus. Now, if I was doing that multilingual thing, I might have English dialogue that goes with this one, and then all the sound effects and music stems and everything that go on it. And then I might have another one for French or German or what have you. I'm going to just assign all, click Save, and go to my, click Save, and then click OK. And you can see here, we now have the new bus, and you can see the audio is playing through those 5.1 channels, the 6 channels.
Once again.
Thank you. Thank you. See, it's much more fun when you do that. All right. So that's a very quick look at audio. So let's go and take a look at some of the color stuff now. And in color, I haven't done anything yet. But trust me, this one's pretty damn cool. So we've added over 20 new Resolve effects, which are our filter and effect plugins. You can also use OpenEffects third-party plugins as well. We've got over 20 new ones. There's over 40 in total. And a lot of them are included with the free version, but the super cool ones, like the one I'm about to show you, is included with DaVinci Resolve Studio, which, by the way, DaVinci Resolve Studio has gone from $999 to $299 now. Oh, OK. I see. I see money as a motivator here. OK. Very good. All right, so I've just added the face refinement filter. I'm going to hit Shift-F, which changes my UI. It gets everything out of the way, so all I see is my picture and the tool that I want to use. I'm going to click the Analyze button, and what it's doing is it's actually automatically detecting the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the chin, the face, and it's automatically tracking it through the shot. So how many of you shoot video with humans in it? Right? And how many of you want to make them all look better? That wasn't nearly as many as I thought it would be. Well, with this filter, you can make anybody look prettier. So let's do that. So here it is. It's tracked through. You can see it found his face, and it's tracking it all through. This is the mask that it automatically created. That's a little creepy looking. You can use the mask refinement tools to further refine the mask, but in the interest of time, I'm not going to do that. So this is him without any facial enhancement, and this is him totally smooth. It's really cool. So you can choose how much smoothing you want, but you can also choose how much detail you want to remain. So see how I can back this in and out of the detail? So you can do some really nice, subtle things here. Or you can do some not so subtle things. You can see down here I have color grading. I can do eye retouching, so I can sharpen his eyes, and I could make them, I can brighten the whites of his eyes. I can even, now he does not have this issue, but if he had like a really high brow and it was dark under his eyes, you could light the eye area separately, which is pretty cool. And then if there's, perhaps he drank a little too much last night, you can just remove, ever so gently remove those bags. So it's pretty cool. Lip retouching is always a crowd pleaser. We're going to just reset that because that's not good. You can add blush to the cheeks. You can retouch the forehead, take shine out. You can work on the cheeks, the chin, and then adjust the global blend. So you can see that if you are the kind of video person that shoots humans, again, this is an indispensable tool that you'll wind up using a lot. And the best part is you don't have to rotoscope. You don't have to make any selections. You don't have to manually do anything. It's automatically done for you. So really, really cool stuff. Thank you. So we've also added, let me just find this clip here. We've also added another one that I'll show you. And there's over 40 in total, so I can't show them all to you. But we only have time for a couple. So I'm going to show you the warper. I think the warper is cool because I can set points in the image. If I want to make this mountain bigger, I can make this mountain as tall as I want it to be to take up more of the frame. Now, that looks awesome except for the fact that I've really screwed up the bottom of the frame. So I can shift-click to add protection areas, and everything below the red ones everything below the red dots is protected from the distortion, and everything above is warped. So this is before, this is after. Let me go and loop this, and I will play this back for you. So you can see it's a really cool effect. Now, I'm on an iMac here. If I was on a desktop, this would be real time, and it would play back smoothly. But you get the idea. All right. So thank you. All right. So now I'm going to invite my lovely assistant editor, Steve Hulfish, to the stage to join me, because we're going to talk about some collaboration, and we're going to show you how collaboration works. So while Steve is getting ready on his system, I'm going to switch projects. Do you all like Steve? Steve is great. All right, so I'm going to open our collaboration project, and we definitely don't want to save the changes I made to that last one. And I'm going to go in here to my media pool. So let me just go into my timeline, and here we go. All right, and now I'm going to enable collaboration. And collaboration is enabled. So we are ready to go. So Steve, would you please log into that project? And while he's logging in, I'm going to point your attention down to this menu at the bottom, which shows you who is working in the project, and this new icon down here, which is a chat icon we're going to get to in just a minute. And Steve is joining the project. Are you in?
Collaboration copy or collaboration?
No, just collaboration. The copy is our backup copy, should things go awry, which they won't.
I am in the collaboration.
As long as my assistant behaves, nothing goes awry.
I'm ready.
You're ready. OK, great. So Steve is opened in this project, and he is in the Hawaii clips bin. And I can tell because he has a little yellow icon on it right here. If I go out to my folder view, I can make that bigger so you can see that. And see how when I hover over that, I see his name? So this is bin locking. You can lock assets, bins, and timelines in Resolve when you're collaborating to protect your work from being overwritten from somebody else. So Steve could be in here adding clips to this bin. He could be editing metadata. He could be deleting clips. He could be doing whatever he wants. And I can't do a thing about it. But what I can do is I can use the clips. If I wanted to edit some of these clips, I still can use them in my timeline. I can edit this down, and right now it's not behaving, but that's why we're public beta. So I can edit this. Now, I also am on this timeline, and I'm working in this timeline, and I own this timeline. So if Steve were to go into this timeline right now, he could not edit it, but he could view it. He could see it. He could copy things out of it, put them into another timeline if he wants.
And I also I don't know if this is on.
Oh, can we turn the table mic on? Should be on? No.
I also have an icon telling me that you own this.
Right, and Steve has a purple icon because in the window down here you see I'm purple, Steve is orange. So Steve sees a little purple icon on this timeline on his screen, and there we go. See, nothing was going to go wrong at all. Back out of that.
Right. So I have a purple icon showing me that he owns the timeline. I cannot get into the timeline or edit with it. But what he's going to do in a second is show you that there's a built-in secure chat ability. And he can, so if we're in separate rooms or we have a huge group of people that are all working together, that group can chat as a group or can chat to individual people very easily, and it's all secure, built into the app. You don't have to go out to a chat app. You can actually say, he's got his app up and he can tell me, hey, Steve, I need you to do something.
So one of the things that you'll notice is the app came right back up, and when we're in collaboration mode, everything you do is automatically saved.
At all times.
At all times.
Live.
So we have live saving, so you don't have to worry about losing any work, which is a great thing. So I'm going to ask Steve to pull some selects for me, and I'm going to send him a little chat. And now I've just sent him a message. He's down the hall. He's getting the message.
I see a little red icon down at the bottom where his is gray, mine is red, and it says that I've got a chat message from him. Can you please pull some selects? Oh my gosh, I got to find a better job than this. You want coffee too?
Decaf grande vanilla latte, 2 pump, please.
All right, never mind. I am not doing that. I will give you some selects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in my Hawaii clips. I'm going to create a new bin. Add bin.
You didn't answer my chat.
Oh, coming right up.
I don't know if he's working on it or not.
Coming right up. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I will answer your chat in a second. Selects. Once I'm waiting to actually do what you asked, and then I can tell you I've completed it.
Oh, is that? Okay, sorry. We're going
wanna,
off script here.
I don't want to tell you I'm going to do something. I'm going to tell you I did something. Much better to do with your boss to tell you you did something.
I love that. He's the best assistant editor.
There you go. So now I'm going in. I've never been an assistant editor. Who should be the assistant editor here? That's what I want to know.
I love it when the assistant dresses better than the editor.
I'm just going to send you a message that says, done.
Okay, so now look on my screen. See the little chat bubble turned red? I know that I've got a message. It says done, and that's awesome. And I'll just say, where's my coffee? Okay, so that's the secure collaborative chat. So this doesn't require a connection to the internet. You don't have to use Skype or iChat or iMessage or anything like that. So if you're in a studio where security is a concern and everything's off the net, this will still work on your local network between Resolve clients. Now, in my bins here on my left, you can see that I've got this little circular refresh icon. I'm going to click on that. And when I do, I now see a new Hawaii Selects folder, which Steve has just made for me. And now I can go and I can use these clips and I can edit. Now, I'm going to...
I think we got time to do the color correction thing.
Oh, let's do some color correction. That'll be fun. All right, so I'm going to go into color correction. It's a hot topic tonight, this color correction thing, let me tell you. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to start color correcting a couple of clips, and I'm going to ask Steve, would you please help me color correct this, because we got to get this project out the door.
Oh, we got to also edit the sequence. I've got to edit the sequence.
Oh, you got to edit the sequence, right. So you know what? I'm going to ask Steve to work on the end of this project. So I'm just going to make a little marker here, and I'm going to say, hey, do something here to make this look better. And then I'm going to take my timeline and I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to drop that in his folder. And then I'm going to go do some color correction while
he's editing.
While he's editing, while I'm editing.
While you're editing.
No, while I'm coloring.
Okay, you're coloring, I'm editing. So I'm now in my timeline. I'm doing a bunch of stuff. I'm doing some trimming. I'm changing some dissolves. I'm deleting some effects that we don't like. I think they're a little cheesy. We delete that. I slide some other clips around, drag them over each other. And yeah, I think we're done. I'm done.
Okay, so...
Need some color correction help?
No, I think we've only got a minute and 40 seconds left.
All right,
so,
we'll better skip that then.
So we're going to skip that. So I go and I can see that something has changed. There's the refresh icon again. So I see that Steve's timeline here is done. So now I can use the new timeline comparison tool and check this out. This is a big one. So So what you see is the timeline on the bottom is my timeline, and the timeline on the top is his. So I can see here that he's trimmed a clip in this location. There's actually an index where you can step through these things as well, but I like the graphical view better. So I can see that he's made some trims here. He's extended a clip here. He's trimmed a clip really short here, and he's actually deleted one here. So I can go in and I can accept or reject any of the changes that he's made, and then those show up in my timeline. So
Nobody can do that.
that is a bit of collaboration. So you've got bin locking and timeline locking. You've got the chat client. You've got the timeline comparison tool. The best part is that you can use this in a small work group with local storage, as long as all your storage has the same file paths and same files. You just need an Ethernet connection between the two computers, and you can collaborate. If you're in a larger studio with a SAN or something, you can do it that way too, with servers and a SAN, but it's totally scalable.
Can I have 10 seconds?
You can have 10 seconds.
So my 10 seconds is this. That cool thing you just showed, the comparison tool, does not need collaboration. You can actually use that to compare your own sequences to your revisions. Is that amazing or what?
That is totally cool. So that is a very fast tour through some of the new stuff in DaVinci Resolve 14. It's a public beta right now, so you can go to our website and download it. And even better, tomorrow you can get free hands-on training on DaVinci Resolve 14. There are 2 sessions, one at 9 and one at 2. It's a 4-hour session, and it's in South Hall S229. It's first come, first serve. So if you want to go, you better get there early. S229, 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. tomorrow. And if you manage to get in, you get a free copy of my book, The Definitive Guide to Editing with DaVinci Resolve. So that's Resolve. Awesome speed, new audio stuff, collaboration, and hundreds of other really cool things.